just clap in front of Tom's face.
Okay. No Edits, No Filter, episode 26.
Episode 26. We passed the quarter-century mark. Hey, tell them who you are kicking this thing off.
Riley Delaney.
Riley from where?
Raleigh. I know you always like to
Yeah, but
get
you're
me
not,
to say
you're
that.
not from Raleigh anymore. You're Riley from where?
Nashville.
Boy, you just moved here. I'm Tom from Nashville.
I'm Brad Bramett. Well, today is actually Brad as well. Today.
You got a nickname?
Okay, story time.
Today.
Mr. Aswell.
Yep. Story time. Today, me and Jerry actually went out to lunch at Taco Bell.
Okay.
Yep. And we were in line, and before we, just while it was my turn, there was a guy before me that's name was also Brad.
So you were Brad as well.
Well.
So they wanted to call him Brad number 2, and then a customer behind it said Aswell. And I was like, hey, it's Mr. Aswell.
That's right.
So you have now a like undercover name.
Yeah,
Pseudonym, I guess they give it in the
or just simply a nickname.
Well, a nickname.
That could work.
I like that. As well.
Yeah.
I think it's cool.
It's awesome,
Oh
man.
man, that's pretty catchy.
Yeah.
All right, I picture you with a tuxedo on now.
I know.
Mr. Aswell, I presume.
Yeah.
Trying to dress up like Bond, James Bond.
That's right, exactly. John, who are you? Are you Mr. Aswell too?
No. There's only one Mr. Aswell. He's right next to John.
Very
I'm
nice.
Mr. Drawati.
You're John Drawdy?
Yeah,
All right. Where are you from?
Florida.
Yep. But where do you live now?
I live in Nashville.
We're all Nashvilleians, I think, now. Dustin, tell us about it.
Dustin, moved here from Atlanta last year. Currently reside in Nashville.
Excellent.
I'm Matthew Sternberg, and I'm a native Nashvilleian.
Excellent. And behind the cameras today, Mr. Dieter Spears, as always. Red Rum in it. We like the t-shirt. A little reference back.
Yep.
Red Rum.
Don't read it backwards, audience.
Don't see it in a mirror. It's scary. It's really
Yeah,
scary.
they can't see Dieter anyway, man.
That's right. Dieter's just, he's like, what? Who's the guy in Charlie's Angels? Behind the,
Yeah,
Charlie. He's like Charlie.
Yeah,
Behind
the
yeah,
curtain.
he's behind the curtain.
Yeah,
They work for me, not names.
Well,
Wait,
He's
hold on,
a man
Tom. I
behind the
don't know what
curtain.
John's
He be the
thinking
Wizard
about.
of Oz.
Tell me, John, what are you thinking now?
No, what Addie worked for me then. My name's Tom Mom.
Were you trying to make a joke there?
Yeah,
I like it. Very nice.
they work for me.
This is the John Droughty Show.
Yep, John Dratty Show.
All right.
Trademark. Disguised as No Edits, No Filter.
We're here. That's right. Disguised as. So, guys, what do? We come here every week and we talk about a subject. I get to
Yes.
throw out.
Exacto
And
mundo.
Do you think you have it, Riley? You think you
He
have some
always
sort of,
calls me out for knowing what the topic
Because you
is,
used
and
to
I
call
actually
me.
know.
All right, good. You do.
I actually don't know. My bad.
There you
I
go.
do not know what it is.
I have an interesting talk today, and I don't know where it's going to go, so we're going to see. And I think it's important, and it's very timely in our society right now. And I don't know where this is going to go. It may go flat and nobody says a word, or it may take off and go like wildfire. I think in our country right now, we are all set up to, I'm on this side of an issue, and you're on that side of an issue. I want to know if you, and I don't even care about the issue, but I want to know if you guys ever think we can get back in America to agreeing to disagree. We all just said that we came from Florida and Atlanta, North Carolina. You're from Hendersonville. You're down from Thompson Station. Dieter, where were you born and raised? Right here in town.
Hawaii, Georgia, Spain, Germany.
Yeah, you're all over the place. I've been traveling a lot lately, and one thing I'm realizing is we all disagree, and we all go to some side that believes what we believe, and we're gonna believe that because you believe something else, you're on the other side, and we're gonna create these chasms between each other. And I harken back, my dad passed away recently, and I harken back to his generation that sort of just, in some ways, it sometimes agreed to disagree and put down the swords and realize we can all have different opinions, and that this country and that freedom was based on the ability to think what you wanted to think, say what you wanted to say, be who you wanted to be, and have respect for the other person. So I think we're losing that. I don't know if you guys believe that.
I would
or
agree
not.
with you, Tom.
So I want to know, the question to each of you today is, can we, we'll just call it America's view right now, get back to a country that can agree to disagree? You think we'll ever do that?
Well.
Pretty deep subject, I understand.
No,
Does
it's not
everybody
deep for
understand
me
what we're talking
because I
about?
read it.
Yeah.
It's not deep for me. I mean, of course, there are some things I'll just never understand. But, I just think it's really silly. Just almost plain stupidity. To, like, for example, let's say, okay, I'm going to ask you this question.
Okay.
What's your favorite ice cream?
What's my favorite what?
Ice cream. I'm going somewhere with this.
I'm a vanilla guy.
No chocolate.
Plain vanilla. I know.
And let's say hypothetically I like chocolate.
Okay.
The way it should be is, you like vanilla, I like chocolate ice cream. I like cookies and cream ice cream,
Something
There shouldn't be
divide.
like, oh my god, he likes vanilla. Everybody grab your swords and javelins and start. I mean, it's stupid.
So we
it's
can
unbelievably stupid.
So
People
Matt,
can have any sort of opinion, and it's just.
So what if
Stupid.
you like chocolate ice cream? We're going to stay hypothetical. You like chocolate and I like vanilla. We ought to be able to sit down and eat ice cream together,
Exactly.
right?
No
And
problem
enjoy
with it.
ice cream together, John.
It's almost like you say you're gonna do the September birthdays. Suppose we get 2 different ice creams in here. See which one he likes the best.
Okay, and it should be a test.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. But we just may all like ice cream.
Yeah.
Some people
Yeah.
eat the vanilla, some people eat the chocolate.
And
Yeah,
who
Brad.
cares? It's
Okay.
good fun. There shouldn't be this
That's a great analogy.
God-forsaken argument that it's life and death, and if you're wrong, you shall be shunned.
Okay.
I mean,
Right.
these
Now
are
what-
all hypothetical things I'm
Cool.
saying, but I'm sorry, I have my own opinions about things.
Okay.
Everyone else here has their own opinions about things. So
Amen.
why does it have to be so blown out of proportion to the point where everyone's all uptight and it's like, it is asinine, foolishly, god-awful stupidity right there.
I think he's adamant about it. What do you think, Ronald?
Clearly.
Definitely adamant.
You got
yeah.
something you want to chime in? I want to hear.
Yes. As a matter of fact, about ice cream, we actually did have some recently.
Yep.
Yep, and Matt, it was mostly because we were just trying to cool off from the hot weather
It's
we've
been
had.
hot. It's been.
It has been hot around
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah,
ice
it
cream, all
really
of us
has
should
been
enjoy the ice cream to cool off,
Yeah.
but we can enjoy any flavor that we want. Is
Exactly.
that right? Okay.
Now back to the whole worldview.
What happens when we take it out of ice cream? Let me do this real quick. What happens if we take the subject out of just ice cream and we change it to something like one of the hot political topics? Somebody
Okay.
name one.
I'm thinking. Well,
Again, being timely, I would say the election, because
All right.
there's a natural divide right there with party lines.
And at the end of an election, what are we all? After the election's over,
We're all
America.
we're all supposed to be unified.
we're
But
all
we
Americans
still
still
have-
going on serving either president, Democratic, Republican,
Well,
Independent.
yeah.
So how do we get back to that, guys? Because there seems to be politics. That's a great subject. That's kind of a safe general subject as opposed to some issue. But you're right. We either fall down on one side of it or the other.
Only,
Throw something out.
I think we hide behind phones first and foremost.
Phones?
We don't actually get in front of each other
Amen.
and talk. So we
Amen.
can say whatever.
only
So technology is a barrier to.
I think it's a
real-
barrier, and
to real
then
communication.
a lot of us don't want to actually find what the actual truth is, so we just blurt out what we think is the truth,
Yeah.
and then somebody may know the truth and argue against it, but then you're arguing against somebody who thinks their truth is the truth.
Right.
So I think it's education and hiding behind
Yeah.
electronics.
I think it's really cool.
Helps the
I think
divide.
technology is huge in that, and I also think the truth being the truth, that there can be the two truths at the same time. Who's to say the truth is the truth? I mean, at some point, and you can believe one thing, and I can believe another,
it's almost like
and they can both be the
it's
same.
almost like Democrats, Republicans, constantly throwing stones at one another.
Is that a good thing, John? What can we do to stop this, though?
because only two parties can win White House. No third party can win White House.
You're right, but why can't we have a third party in the middle somewhere out of that swath of what we really believe?
It's been like that for years.
That's really intelligent. John.
We got a few independent senators, but
Right.
but they don't do anything.
What I most
Hold on, I want to finish, John. I want to let John finish that trail
Okay,
because
yeah.
you're on a really cool thing. Are you watching this on TV and just noticing it?
It's not. We got. I think we got 2 independent senators in Washington, but one's running for president right now.
Where do you keep up with your news, John?
I'll see you in
There you go. Okay.
Yeah, I don't much care for Fox. I don't much care for SMBC because Fox is more conservative.
Okay.
CNN.
Okay. So you like the news that comes from CNN?
Yeah.
And you feel that there's not enough independence or middle ground, or are you feeling like there's just a lot of yelling
there's
going
more.
on?
There's not enough third parties to get this country moving the way it's supposed to be moving.
And where is that moving, John? How are we supposed to
Well,
move?
some of them vote. Some people vote Democrat. Some people vote Republican.
In a general way, right? I'm going to
Yeah.
be way over here on the right. I'm going to be way over here on the left,
Yeah.
as opposed to looking at what's best for America.
Yeah.
John, I think in a really, really, really short period of time of what you just said, you encapsulated what I think America personally ought to be getting back to. You just got to, can we get to that place though? Can we get back to a place where middle America agrees to disagree?
Yeah.
Can we?
Yeah.
You think so?
It may take a few. It may and or may not take a few generations to get back.
What do we got to do? What's going to take it to? So if that's the goal, what's a plan of action? Anybody got any ideas?
I had some remaining
I'll throw it
thoughts.
to the group
Remaining.
first, and then I'll
Okay,
circle
Matt,
back.
finish your thought. I'm sorry.
What's frustrating is all this politics is a fancy word for just arguing at each other. I'm gonna choke you out because I don't believe this. Who cares? Get something done.
Okay.
I really want to say the D word, but I won't. That's how badly I want to say it.
Done?
Like, I feel like Harrison Ford right now.
Democrat?
No, neither. Like, just get something done instead of complaining about it, you imbecile. Get something done.
So
We
what is
shouldn't
it?
have this bickering, you know?
So let me
We
ask-
could have been at the moon a second time by now, but you know what?
You mean
We just want to frickin'
You mean the first time?
So Matt, let me ask you this. Matt, let me ask you, buddy. You're talking about to the senators and John and the politicians and the president and the government, right? So what is we as simple citizens? We're all just a bunch of broken dudes running around here on the planet trying to figure out how to be a human being, right? When it all
That
comes down
starts
to it.
with decency and not up each other and eat other's throats.
But there's
I
a-
mean,
there's a
yes, we
great
are
story.
barbaric in nature, you know?
But
I
be
mean,
decent.
the Vikings were, you know, they burned. But my point is, we got to work aside our differences. You know, we can't be living like this. This
So
is
what
not
can-
how the way you live.
What can you, Matthew Sternberg,
Because I've
do
read
tomorrow?
history and I understand we're gonna repeat a past mistake. I'm just telling you, history has a tendency of repeating itself.
So Matt, what can you wake up tomorrow, Saturday morning, in Nashville, Tennessee, on August the 20th, and do that'll help reverse this polarization we've got going on in our country? What
Well-
can you, Matt, or what can I do, or what can Riley do?
That's all.
We
Val,
can
yeah,
all
hold
do
on.
it.
Val's got something wants to chime in.
Here's what I think we should all be fighting against. And it's a nice one because I think no matter where you're leaning at any given moment, you can still fight against this. Fight against endless debate. Fight against the idea that some things are so controversial that we're going to be debating them forever and never agree to anything on them. That's where the stagnation starts, at least for me. It's a bunch of stuff that involves my personal life that I would love to talk about with people, but it's considered quote unquote in debate right now. For people like me and people with my history, it hasn't been a debate, it's been a reality. It's been the way that we walk through the world. But for people who want to grant us or not grant us rights, they're like, well, we still think the conversation needs to be had. And I think you'll find that dynamic popping up a lot of places. That someone says, I understand you've got concerns, but we're still talking about it. Start to request for action and start to try to move those conversations along and help people, you know, like you said, being gracious, being generous with other people's thoughts and ideas, listening to other people, and also standing your ground and helping the conversations actually move forward so we're not just stuck in this loop forever, the end of history.
So to add to what you're saying, you know, you necessarily don't have to agree with the person, but you should still support them.
Yeah,
if that makes any sense about it. Like,
Absolutely.
I feel like, I look at it this way. People can believe what they want. People can live how their life wants. And I think the great thing about America that I feel like it's starting to lose is like, if you look in history, the Ellis Island immigration, I always go back to that time and point because people saw like they were escaping World War II. They wanted a better life for their families. And I look at that and I look at now, and this is actually backwards. We are going backwards to where it's almost like some people like different things, but that's okay. That's what makes America diverse.
Yep.
That's what makes it great, And
Val, what you're saying is exactly what you're saying, Matt. Just let's do something. Let's take some action.
Make a decision.
as opposed to continuing the debate.
And maybe
Mike,
have
speaking
it
of
where
running,
not
my
one
car's
group
running.
is more important than the other group. In the society, we should all have equal voices and be equal.
yeah,
That's right.
Where I think sometimes we try to make one group more important than the other group. Like, if we just go Democrats think they're more important than the Republicans, and the Republicans think,
Yeah.
we need to get past that. It's just two groups need to figure out
the coexist.
everybody's equal.
The coexist.
Yeah.
I mean, we all in this room, we all have some similarities. We could list things that we're similar about, but I would say we could also list our differences. And I'll just look at Dieter, and Dieter and I probably couldn't be two any more different kind of people in our likes and dislikes and ins and outs of things. But there's a core at what Dieter and I both believe that has really, I think, become a kindred spirit for us. I may be overspeaking that, but I don't know what Dieter's beliefs are in some areas of politics and all that. It doesn't matter to me because I know who Dieter is. I know at the core of who Dieter is and what he does by showing me what he does every day and by the way he treats me, the way he treats you guys, and I think he sees that in me as well. And so we've come to a mutual respect for each other where we might not be the guys going to the same movie, we might not enjoy the same food, we might not enjoy the same things that we enjoy on the weekends, or music might be different. He loves scary movies. I can't stand them. They freak me out.
Yeah.
But we found a place that we enjoy the production of things, and we found a place where we enjoy helping others and being a part of others, and just the experience of creativity.
No, I went for the Democrats.
Yeah, to add to what you're saying, Tom,
Hold on, John. Just one sec. Go ahead, Matt.
what you were saying, you don't necessarily have to do the same things as the person. You don't have to agree with what they do or anything. My point is, see, your guys are a perfect example. You both respect each other. You're just having a good old time, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
That's how I see it. There shouldn't be no sword and dagger to it.
That's right.
Completely agree, Matt.
Yeah. And I think one of the things that's interesting is we're finding that, on the avenue here, we're all different. I mean, one of the things I learned of people with and without disability is we're all different. And so to say that we're only different because of this one thing called a disability is not right. There's taste and demeanor and tone.
It's tasteless.
But there's all this nuance in life that we ought to just give each other a little bit of...
It's not good. It's not good working a place every day you treat like garbage. Because you're handicapped or autistic. Get treated with respect. It's not good working a place where people backstab y'all at all.
I know how that feels, John. I do.
And
I can
so
relate.
one of the things that you guys literally live out every day here is that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
We have each other's backs, and we're a team.
We do.
If it falls, somebody picks it up and hands it to you and takes care of it for you. And we work together on that. And so, John, I think you're exactly right. I think those are the type things that we have to do on a day in, day out basis to start to reverse the trend. And just, one of the things I've stopped doing is listening to the news and watching TV and reading my news feed. And back to your technology thing, Dieter, I just stopped listening to the noise because I know that my world that I live in with you guys every day, and the fact that we're the place I choose to live with my family, and we're not living in all that. And so it changes it for me. And I think that's where we can start immediately, just to kind of shut it all down. My brother and I, there goes my brother right there. We couldn't be any more different. You put us we're in this side and that side on a lot of things, and there's not a person on the planet I love any more than that guy. And so, but we're very, very different in the way we look at things, and I think that's a cool thing.
That's the beauty of it.
It is a beauty of it. God, how boring would it be if there were a bunch of Tom Woodards running around here, a bunch of Matt Sternbergs. Everybody was like me and Matt, or just one of
Oh,
us.
God.
Nobody'd get a word in edgewise, would they? So I think it does. It takes everybody to do that, and I appreciate it. Dustin, you've been awful quiet over there. What's your window?
Almost as quiet as Brad.
Yeah, but Brad got out of the gate early on ice cream, so we're good to know. Brad's going to throw an ice cream
Touche.
party tonight over at campus.
Well,
I'm gonna
no,
party with my father.
Well,
It's my dad's birthday.
Today's Paul's birthday?
My dad, his birthday is Sunday, but starting this weekend is his birthday weekend. Paul.
Happy birthday, Paul Sternberg.
Paul.
Boom, boom.
Yeah, I was gonna say Matt and I are
Proud to be my father.
There you go. Dustin, tell us about it, man. What's your window on can America ever agree to disagree again?
I don't really have an answer on that.
You agree with some of the things you've been hearing today?
Yeah.
What's a good thing that you can do tomorrow to make the world a little more agreeable place? Like if you wake up in the morning, what could you do to make it a little better?
I can't think of anything.
All right, that's fine.
You want to know what I will say? A good example of what we're saying.
Yeah.
If it was a president, the one president I will think of that did actually do some things would have to be Ronald Reagan.
Ronald Reagan?
Because he tore down the wall against the Cold War. The Russians had East Berlin set it up, this wall separating the East Germans and the West Germans. Got that tore down, He did a lot of peace agreements. My point is, from what I've read about him in history, he was a president that and Roosevelt, all those greats, they didn't sit and just say, I'm just going to smoke my cigar and just,
I think we've got.
he did something.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, Trump, I'm going to have to say this. All you
'Cause
do
you know
is
he
just sit
wants
there
to
and take selfies. Yeah, I know you're listening. I know you're listening, and I mean that as well. It's just, do something. Like, you got the what, just, why is it taking so long for you to complete anything? What's going on here,
Wow.
It's this thing called
Shots
progress, not procrastination.
There you go.
Yo, we got a president now. He doesn't do anything. He went for 4 national security advisors now.
He's go through 4 national security advisors.
Yeah, I said he went through them. He got rid of John Ball. He got him another national security advisor. Yeah, this president wants.
Oh,
We
today's
may as well
September
name
20th.
nickname
Also,
Trump
we
the
should
hire and
mention-
fire.
We should mention that there's probably a raid taking place at Area 51, maybe.
It's today.
Supposedly.
So John, wait, I gotta say, I've learned something today about John Droughty.
Politician.
You are into politics. You know it. You watch it. I wish you were one of our Metro councilmen, John, because I tell you, man, he's versed on this stuff.
Yeah.
Well done, son. Way to go. Nice work for a 50-year-old dude. Oh man,
We still need to have a party for him.
we still need to have a party.
Yeah,
man.
when
Yeah,
they
'cause
ever
we have
call
it
me
on
back
tape.
to war.
I know. We got to find something for you to do over here. Well, anybody else? Guys, I think this has been a great debate. I think it's been a great opportunity. I appreciate Val and Dieter kicking in. I like that we're gonna have an ice cream party at Brad's tonight.
But not tonight.
Oh, not tonight.
No, Riley's batching it tonight, so we
You're
can have
batching it?
party at his place.
No, well, long story.
It's in
Excellent.
the works.
Now, John.
Big ass tacos.
Dude, thank y'all very much.
See when it comes that, if it takes on, we're gonna probably celebrate mine and Dustin's birthday.
When's your birthday, Dustin?
October.
There you go. We'll just have a big
But it's gonna be
celebration.
it's gonna
May
be
as
over,
well.
it's gonna be on a weekend.
Guys, I'm sorry. We're juggling a lot of stuff here. We'll figure the birthday thing out soon. I promise. We'll get back on it. It
Maybe
doesn't
a
mean I
group
don't love
birthday
y'all.
party.
Yeah, one big ass taco birthday party.